So welcome, and today I picked the star cards. I want to talk to you about the star, this radiant emissary, the star. It's kind of bringer of a wisdom or a knowledge or a new opportunity, something that kind of longs to be expressed, a yearning. And I'm going to suggest that you have a yearning for something. There's a yearning kind of encrypted into your being. And it is demanding to be expressed on more levels than you can even imagine. And this tumultuous time that we're traveling through at the moment calls forth new ideas, new ways to look at things. So what is sitting within you? What is this yearning? What is this? Is it an idea? Is it a way of being in the world? Is it a different way of connecting with yourself, with your own sense of spirit? What is that? I mean, what is it that this star catcher, the catcher of stars, what star are you catching? And it calls you to ask, what have you accepted about yourself? What do we all accept about ourselves? What shapes our lives? What has shaped your life up until this point? Is there a particular story, a particular dynamic that seems to have played out, and maybe opportunities have been there, possibilities have been alive for you, and yet something's held you back, something stopped you really stepping into your own radiant, imaginative being, of fully expressing yourself. And who would you be? Who would you dare to be if nothing was in the way? Would you be who you are? What would you dare to express? Are you holding back on saying things that you really would love to say? Kind of radical ideas, unconventional ideas, unconventional ways of thinking, unconventional ways of dressing, unconventional ways of being with your body, maybe even with your sexual expression, your sense of being a active sexual being on the planet, or maybe just the attractiveness of who you are, the sense of you as a point of radiance. Now, this isn't about kind of just looking like a supermodel or anything like that. It's just saying that we all have this primal sense of expression within us, no matter who we are, where we come from. It's kind of an innate presence. And our culture does not encourage the expression of this in its fullest, most wildest form. So the star is really kind of it's a calling. It's calling the practice of finally coming to earth fully, to be here unapologetically. So there's a kind of seed, there's a possibility that's ready to grow, and it sits in a radically different future in which you can thrive and create. There's a bringing of what I call spirit technology. She is a spirit technologist, and she transmits the knowing that you're a spiritual being. You're not just the sum of these atoms and blood and bone and flesh. In fact, the atoms, the blood, the bone, the flesh, the hair, the eyes are all systems of magic. And we've forgotten this. We've forgotten the magic. And we've forgotten the possibility of rapture. To be enraptured by life. To feel the flow of energy through our bodies. The lightning, the electricity of life. The tingling of life. The surge of the mind, the surge of the organs, pumping fluids and bloods, eliminating things, digesting. What are you not digesting? Is there an indigestibility to how you've set your life up? And if so, what would make your life delicious? What would bring this sense of deliciousness to your physical form? What needs to happen? What needs to change? What do you invite in? There's a moving away from the deconstruction, the demolition of the tower into a brighter time. But the kind of afterburn of the collapse is still upon us. So we're in a phase of a tumultuous phase. And so the star arriving in the midst of chaos allows us to have the burning bright wonder of hope in our hearts. So we feel that there is a future for us, for our loved ones, for all of the animals and every resident of this wondrous planet. So we're not sucked into the nihilistic, apocalyptic view of life. We don't accept that anymore. So there's a call for your own creative rebellion, a rebellion against the consensus narrative, a turning away from these stories, these kind of blood-soaked, miserable stories that are broadcast to us, that tell us that life is dangerous, life is malignant. And these stories have melded into our cultural way of being in the world. And these stories have limited you, limited us all. And this is a turning away from those and the ability to recreate who you are and recreate what the world means and what you mean to the world. There's a renaissance, a signalling of a renaissance, a reimagining, a repositioning, a realignment of physical, emotional, spiritual parts of you. And this is kind of a focus as well on your vitality, your vital health. The health that allows you to be. The health that allows you to speak and express. And so it's a kind of invitation to bring health to these areas. Bring health to the way you speak about yourself. Bring health to the way you move around this world. Bring health to the way you interact. Bring radiant, vital health to your work. So it's a signalling of pleasure. A pleasure in expressing yourself in the world. And the star, the Aquarian, the water bearer. So there's a sense that the star wants our emotions and our intellects to unite. So we're not just flying on emotions, or we're not just sucked into the practicalities of life, the bare practicalities of life. There's a unison there. This means that your ability to discern what's the most enriching path is matched by your soul's calling towards that enriching path. So there's less obstacles. In fact, obstacles start to fall away. And there's a kind of alchemizing of problems and challenges. So they turn into opportunities and possibilities. And there's a calling to connect deeper with your tribe, with the people that understand you and get you and want your energy and love you for who you are and the thing that you want to create. So this is the understanding that the persona is malleable. The persona is not fixed. It's not like stone. So this resonance, this uniqueness of you is amplified. There's an amplification of your expression, and that is held clear in the energy of the star. So when you come to this, when you hear this, ask again that question: what am I yearning to express in this life? What am I called to be in this world? Yeah, and you can even ask yourself, if my life was trying to prove a point now, what would that point be? Would that be that life is difficult? Would it be that life is sad? Would it be that life is unfair? Or would it be that life is just an open adventure, a quest, a way of understanding the deepest aspects of existence, an opportunity for us to make something happen that was never going to happen, whatever that might be. So there is a call for you to step forward into a future in which you can thrive, in which you can bring things to life that you never even imagined that you could bring to life. But the key to this, like the lightning from her fingertips, is that it calls you to action. It calls you to make something happen, to create everything, to realize that you can create who you are, what you are, and what it is that you're here to express. In a sense, you're creating a destiny. You're the artist that creates the destiny. So there's a focus on artistic flair, of innovation. This new way of approaching. What is the new way of approaching something? And enroll others in this possibility, so they also are catalyzed by you expressing this in the world and you bringing things into existence. So we change the world bit by bit, positive impact by positive impact, by positive connection, by compassion, by daring to be creative, to turn life into art, to turn life into a work of art that has an adventure to it, a new way of understanding to it. So thanks for listening, and I'd also like to share a wordscape that came through when I picked the star this morning and decided to share this with you. She arrives in a blissful acoustic, a gorgeous mixture of asymmetry, the emissary from distant starlands. But she ain't no black star, no Nibiru. She brings a message to behold. She brings it clearly for you to know. She understands the minds of men, thoughts wrapped tight in ape and reptile. She sees how moons make love to oceans, sees us suffer and loves us even more. She sees our fears and tames them with stardust. She points the way in her magical tongue as her joy plays out in dazzling patterns. Her lightning points to stories we are given that no longer fit in our beautiful minds. The death-grip stories that built this empire, this vast realm formed from dark beliefs, a dreamless machine spraying spiritual napalm, the soulless child of a jadium. But now is the time to reclaim your wonder, and like a master you're never going under. Ha 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 ha. And like a master you're never going under. Ha 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 ha. Instead we fill our hearts with her tripping, tasting her sweet scented thunder. In nature's bounty we find the elixir, the panacea that calls us home. Through star-soaked eyes we see a future that's free of all this toxic talking. And so we ask this golden star who we were and who we are. We pray for all the souls not yet born and cry for all the children never held. And we wish upon the life we were gonna live and cry for all the children never held. And we wish upon the life we're gonna live and wish on all the joy we're gonna hold. The wonder that sits within a stick foresaw the wrongs that we're now seeing. But let's not sup that bitter brew, 'cause the magic just ain't gonna come through. This is your creative rebellion. Understand it must happen now. So don't do what you're told. Don't fear to get old. No need to be sad, 'cause there's stars in your head. You finally know that the gold in your core is nothing more than alchemy's love child. And pray for all the souls not yet born, and cry for all the children never loved, and wish upon the life we're gonna live, and wish on all the joy we're gonna be. Ask the child that lives inside your soul what's yet to come and what's taking hold. This woman's a wonder, if truth be told. She shows us how to never get old. And wish on all the souls that never were, and wishing on all the love we never told, and wishing on all the life we want to live, and wishing on all the joy we're gonna give. Stand in the waters but never stop dancing. There's a longing that wants to feel life. When we can see our flesh is magic, we return to the loins of the earth. We pray for all the souls not yet born, and cry for all the children never held. And we wish upon the life we're gonna live, and wish on all the joy we're gonna